And welcome back to another edition of Thompson's Comic Corner. Um, I'm here today with my good friend George from Shortbox Summary, and we decided to read one of my favorite origin stories, which happens to be about Dick Grayson as Nightwing. So, George, who wrote this book for us?
Yeah. We read Nightwing Year One, came out in Nightwing issues 101 to 106, written by Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty, penciled by Scott McDaniel and Billy Patton, and inked by Andy Owens and Serge Lapointe. Came out between January 12th, 2005 and March 23rd, 2005, so it was like a bi-weekly book. And I had never read this book before. It was fun to visit it for the first time.
It is pinnacle Bat Family origin. Like Chuck Dixon, he wrote the Nightwing one. He wrote Batgirl. He wrote Robin Year One, and I believe he wrote the one about Oracle too. Could be wrong on that one, but
That
for the
feels
most
right.
part,
Yeah.
yeah, for the most part, this man has literally written everything damn near Batman.
Yeah, this guy had his fingerprints all over the Bat Family in the 90s. And it's just one of those things where like you go back and I feel like he wrote that Robin series. That like I my entry point to comics was like around this time. I was not reading Nightwing when this came out, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Um, but like Nightwing was on issue whatever this was, 106, 110 by the time I finally started seeing it on the shelf. And like the Robin book was in like 105, maybe a little less. And it's just one of those things where like you go back and like the dude started the Nightwing book, the dude started the Robin book, the dude started I think the Birds of Prey book. So like I don't know if he deserves so much credit for really expanding the Bat Family beyond just like the Batman centric titles, but I don't know how you can't give him a lot of credit because it seems like he was just all over it and it seemed pretty important to him.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like he didn't write like the small stories. This man was literally on these books, I mean, for years. And he damn near from, I'm going to say, the mid to early 90s, right there to probably about 2008, he literally touched damn near every member of the Bat family. I don't know if he wrote a Batman book. I would
I'm sure
assume,
I'm sure he was on Detective Comics at the very least doing
like,
some
he
some
had to
stories
have
there.
been
Yeah.
somewhere. Because, I mean, if you're going to trust him to write all your damn origin stories for all your side characters, you got to throw him a bone and give him at least one Batman story.
I have to assume he did. I did not do the research. That's on me. I fucked up. I should have done better. But I have to assume he did. And plus, he also did like the first book of his. Like I remember getting really into was Batman and the Outsiders, which short-lived little team up book, but that came out probably like 2007, 2008 maybe, and that was him and like Lee Garbett, and it was like Batman putting together like a Wetworks team basically.
Yeah, so I read this book, the Nightwing series, on just going through DC Infinite, and you go in and it has like the little like showcases, and I was like, all right, so I click on it, and I'm like, all right, so we're just gonna start fresh. I don't know much about like Dick Grayson or Nightwing in the comic books. I really didn't at that point. I mean, Tom Taylor's run, which for new readers, amazing, perfect, beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, but back then, like this was, Dick Grayson, all his tragic backstory and everything as Robin, but like they never really dived into like why he was Nightwing, where he got the suit, and the way that they tell that in this story, it's beautiful. Like to me, this is a beautifully written story. It's perfect. It answers all the questions you want. It gives you the backstory into shit. Jason Todd becoming Robin too. Like that's even in this.
Yeah.
So it kind of touches everything that you need to know if you didn't know what was going on. For me, I'm 31 years old. I I was fucking 10 at that point when this book came out. So, you know, Nightwing wasn't my go-to guy. If it wasn't Batman or Spider-Man, like I wasn't reading Nightwing back then. Just I'm being honest.
Right. I wasn't either. And like I'm looking at it now, I did not pick up Nightwing year one when it was on the shelves because like I was going to the comic book store. This was like prime George getting into comics. Like I before we started recording, I said that like I don't think this is the best era of DC and Marvel, but it's my favorite era of DC and Marvel. You know how they always say that like the first episode of SNL you watch, like that's your best cast or whatever. I'm looking at the book here on DC Infinite, and like, man, I was reading War Games, which came out in Nightwing 96, 97, 98. So like I was aware of Nightwing. I just did not give a shit about the story when it came out. And you said that it was a beautiful story. I think what was really beautiful about it was that like the first issue was like a Batman and Robin, but like Dick Grayson as Robin book, right? And then the second issue was Dick Grayson and Superman. The third issue was Dick Grayson and Deadman. The fourth issue was Dick Grayson and Batgirl. The fifth issue was Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. And then the sixth issue was like really, I guess, more Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, but it really was like him and Alfred was what it felt like. So like this book does such a good job of giving you a tour of people that are intrinsically tied both to like just the Bat family in general, but also just like uh to Dick Grayson in particular. Like I love that Superman issue. That's one of my favorite issues I've read all year in Nightwing 102. I thought that was fantastic. I love Dick's connection to Superman. And you see that a little bit in the most recent Nightwing, like during like the Tom Taylor run, right?
Yep. Oh, the Tom Taylor run is goaded. Like it
Yeah,
is
that
just
is S tier shit. Yeah.
it's so good. I can't wait for it to come out. In I think it's March. It comes out in the $10 DC compacts.
Oh
You get the
hell yeah.
first 10 issues of that arc, and it's my favorite issue of this Nightwing. I think it was 104's the Dead Man issue.
Right.
That issue is so much. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, we're back after that little slight technical difficulty. Child lost his stuffed animal, so we had to find it. Um,
That's exactly what Nightwing would do, by the way. In the middle of stopping a
yeah,
crime, he'd totally help a kid find a stuffed animal.
yeah. Hey, when you're a parent of a soon-to-be 8-year-old brother, that's the life right there. If that's the biggest worry we got, shit, I'm doing something right.
That is a good worry. Yeah.
Um, Shit, I forget where we were at, but the Dead Man issue. It
Yeah.
is beautiful. I First off, I love Neil Adams. Neil Adams did a great Dead Man, and I followed the character throughout. And his it's in the '80s. His 4-issue limited series is has some of the greatest 2-page splash pages ever that I've ever seen. And like the writing, like whoever did the letters in it is beautiful. And I love the fact that they put Deadman as part of Nightwing's origin story, like how he gets his suit. Like that's the whole like I love it. I would have never even thought of that until they did it. Like it was beautiful.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I like really fucking hate the original Nightwing suit. I never read the new Teen Titans, like the Marv Wolfman, George Perez stuff, where I'm pretty sure that's like around like that was when it was Nightwing and not Robin on the team. I much prefer like the more modern, sleeker one, but like the fact that he got that from his dad, or was it his dad or was it Boston Brand's older brother that he got the suit from?
He got it. I want to say, yeah, he got it from Boston,
He got
but
it
I
from
want to
Boston,
say
but it
it
was
was,
about his dad's older costume, right?
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that it was his dad's order costume. That's why it's all tattered and
Right.
beat to shit.
But between that, like getting the costume from that, getting the name from Superman, I guess, and like getting the confidence from Jason, like this is just like a really well executed story, and I love that it's shipped bi-weekly, so like it came out over the course of 3 months. And I wonder, I'm being like a little bit of a conspiracy theorist here, but like I wonder if it was like editorially important that this story came out because this came out in early 2005, right?
Yeah.
And in October of 2005, Infinite Crisis issue 1 came out. Have you read Infinite Crisis?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They have too many names with the word crisis in it.
Well, that's kind of their shtick. Yeah.
Yeah, so I get all confused.
It's like famously reported that like Dan DiDio, the editor in chief of, or Dan DiDio, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've never heard it said out loud. Really wanted to kill Nightwing. Like really wanted that story to end with Nightwing's death. And I wonder if that's why it was like we got to do this origin because we don't know how much longer this guy is going to be around. So like the timing of it feels like it lines up for me to be like this little, Reddit uh tack board with red string conspiracy theorist about it, but
Oh
uh
man, I would have
no,
been devastated.
yeah, no, they did other shit in Infant. You should read Infant Crisis. That's like probably my favorite event of all time. Um, Especially like with the lead up and all that stuff. I'll give you a reading list. It's really long. You're gonna love it. This book was great, man. Like it was short, it was sweet, it was easy to read, and that Scott McDaniel art is so fucking energetic. I love it so much. I'm pretty sure that was the guy who did like the Cassandra Cain Batgirl series from 2000, like at least like the first 30 issues.
Yeah, where it's actually like that's my favorite part of that. I think it's after issue 33 I fell off because it changed all creative teams and it just didn't look the same. It didn't feel the same.
No, no, it didn't. I like reread. It's like that show, The West Wing, where like I will watch the first 4 seasons no matter what, and then like probably like every 6 times I watch the first 4 seasons, then I will like finish the show because that's when like Rob Lowe left. That was when Aaron Sorkin left, and it just like the show's like still high quality, but it just feels different. And that's how I feel about that Batgirl book. Is like I'll read the first 36 issues or whatever the fuck it was every single time, and every 6 times I read it, then I'm like, all right, cool, I'll finish the series. But like his art is just so fun, and I love. I feel like that's something we're like kind of missing from modern comics. Like the is it Bruno Redondo did like the Tom Taylor run.
Yeah, and they did so many fun things with that series. They did a continuation. It was like one just long panel
Oh yeah,
for
no, that was
one book.
that was
And
an
then
incredible issue.
didn't they did one that was all horizontal too, I believe.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like
they did a first person one too.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to turn this into a Tom Taylor episode. I'm sorry, but like that art's incredible. Like honestly, some of the best comic art I've seen in the last 15 years. I find this art so much more interesting because it's not trying to be realistic. Like it's trying to be clear, but there's still so much room for like artist interpretation of like what the story needs. And I just think it's so fun, man. Like you can tell the momentum when he's like swinging off like the trapeze, like there's just so much energy in every
Yeah,
panel that it just
there's a
makes
lot
it
of
feel
movement.
fun. Yeah.
It's not stagnant. Like it's not like you actually feel like, yeah, no, granted, we know that it's a page and you can only do so much, but it actually feels like it looks like he's moving.
Yeah.
And like a lot of artists, I feel like today, like everything's just so stagnant. There's also just a lot of standing around and talking in today's books.
Yes. Yes, there
That's one
is.
of the biggest issues. This man, this is literally they know it's just a 6 issue little mini run, and they delivered in every issue. Like there's not one issue that's boring. Like yeah, like the Superman one, they talk, but it's so good. I like the little interaction with him and Lois. And they're like, "How do you know each other?" And he's like, "They talk about hockey." And she's like, "I've known you all these years, and you've never once talked about hockey." And then he just starts naming shit off at the end of the issue.
Right.
It was perfect. And I say that a lot about books that I really enjoy. Like it's a beautiful story or it's perfect. I mean, for me, it is. Like it's fun. It's energetic. it keeps your attention. It makes you. It's a good thing that like we didn't read this when it first came out because I'd be pissed. I'd be like, man, I can't wait for the next issue, and we could just read it in succession, bang, right there.
Well, especially because like this feels so much about Nightwing, and it's like it's stuck between like War Games was one, two, three issues earlier, right? And it looks like I'm just looking at all the cover gallery on DC Infinite, and like two issues after this, there's like the Villains United tie-in for Infinite Crisis. Like Villains United was like a mini series that was like a prologue of sorts for Infinite Crisis. And so like it is so funny to see something so like earnest and heartfelt sandwiched between two like corporate mandates, where it's like War Games is a 24-part crossover with every other Bat title, just talking about a gang war that was happening in Gotham. And then Villains United was like a status quo resetting story. Um, that we got like from the Villains United tie-in for Infinite Crisis. And so it's just so funny that like this little bit of sincerity, like that Deadman issue is really special. Like I said, my favorite is the Superman issue, but they're all really good. Like they're all very poignant about the character without being too saccharine. Like I don't think that they're like overindulgent on the sweet because it's like it's all from the perspective of Dick writing in his journal and like trying to really decipher like why this break from Batman happened. But he's also like kind of proud of the growth he has throughout the entire thing. But at no point does it feel like too sappy. Like it feels like just your right blend of emotion and action throughout the entire story. I came away way
Yeah,
more impressed with Chuck Dixon after this than I was going in.
I'm telling you, man, he's one of my favorite. I've read. Let's see, they have the compendium for that Nightwing run, which I believe is like the first 30 issues, maybe 40.
Yeah,
Well,
actually, I grabbed that from in stock trades just because I like this uh, story so much.
well, first off, it gets your attention because that cover is sick. And then you read his run, and it's just not every book's a banger. All right, we get
Sure.
that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, like he doesn't give you something that's half-ass. It's all whole ass, pretty much. It's all
Mm.
good. Like it's good storytelling. It's good. He got paired with really good artists. I will say that's one thing. And for the art in this book, I think one of the things that helps the most is whoever was the colorist in this book, everything pops, and they meshed really well with the penciler and the inker. Like all three of them, they killed it.
There's no colorist listed, so I have to assume it was Scott McDaniel,
Oh no
right?
shit.
It was, well, I mean, there's no colorist listed, so it's either him. I assume it was him because there's like a distinction for Andy Owens and Serge Lapointe doing the inks, and I feel like if they did the colors, it would have said inks and colors by these guys. So I'm assuming it was Scott McDaniel and Billy Patton being the two
Well,
pencilers on the book.
well, then them boys they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, for sure. No, this book was super fun, and the highest compliment I can give it is that like I'm in the middle of so many rereads that like I'm trying to cross off my list this year. I never read the first big event after Crisis on Infinite Earths. I never read this one book called Legends. I'm going back. I'm trying to reread it. But man, after reading this the other night, I just went back and read issue one of Nightwing from this series, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like I kind of want to see this thing in its totality because like I read some of the Tomasi like 1 year later issues. Was he the 1 year later guy? He might. Someone was the 1 year later. No, he was. Yeah, Tomasi was after the 1 year later guy. Bruce Jones. Bruce Jones did the 1 year later stuff. Like that was when I kind of started to read it. Just I'm like, okay, like let's see what's new over here. I'm new, so this should be fun. And plus, that first cover of 1 year later with like the bloody knife standing in front of the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, yeah, that was a fucking sick cover. I had to see what was going on over there. I think it was Ryan Sook who did that, and it's just gorgeous shit. Uh, but man, I never fucked around with Nightwing, and it was really fun to go back and just read Nightwing. So thank you for really putting this on my radar in a way that I didn't really want it to be, but now it fucking has to be. So
It's a good book, man. It's everything that I like in a comic book. It's got great storytelling that's not forced. Like everything's just kind of organic. Like everything just you could just tell like this was just it's the way that it's supposed to be. Like you're not forcing anything.
Mhm.
um, the art pops off the page. Like it really does. And everything looks like a nice movement. It's all cohesive. Everything in this book's cohesive. Like it's not, it seemed like everybody had, you know, the same idea. Because you can tell when sometimes like the artist didn't understand exactly what the hell they were supposed to do, or the writer doesn't know how to do dialogue. You can tell when that don't mesh.
Yeah.
And these guys, they all worked so well together, and I'm glad that we got to read this because this is going to tie in. So I'm doing, we're doing Nightwing year one, and then see, I like to let everybody know what's going on in the background. We got, I'm going to be recording soon with JA from the Last Comic Shop podcast. We're going to be doing Batman and Robin year one, the book that just came out not that long ago by Mark Waid.
Yeah, the Chris Samney book. Yeah, super pretty.
Yeah, the art in that book is a lot of fun. So I read, I think, the first two issues at this point of recording, and I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Plus, I am so interested to hear JA talk about a DC book because I know that is not his first pick in a pile of comics. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like to, I feel like you can only, everybody that does like a podcast. Now, granted, I do this for myself, like so I have a forum to talk with my friends. That's the whole point of this for me. But I feel like everybody always reads the same damn things. And like it's not anybody's fault. It's because you want to read something that if you want to get viewers, something that they can connect with. So like everybody reads like the big stories and all this.
Right.
I don't think anybody's ever talked about Nightwing year one.
I
I don't
didn't
think
even
that's a
know there
thing.
was a Nightwing year one until you asked me if I wanted to read one of four books. And I was like, yeah, sure. I've never read this one. I didn't know this existed. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So like, and it's something that's a lot of fun. It's different in the aspect of everybody's read Batman Year One. Batman Year One is dark, it's gritty, it's perfect in its own way. This one, it's lighthearted and it's beautiful and it's perfect in its own way. It's two completely different um it's two completely different sides of the coin. One's
Yeah.
really dark, the other one's really light. And in the Batman and Robin logic, Dick Grayson has always been the light. Like he's always been the
Yeah.
light. And I don't think that they couldn't have done this any better. I think that's the best way to end that is like they couldn't have done this any better. So doing that, we'll go into our review or yeah, like our 5-star review. If you've never listened to this, it's 2 stars for story, 2 stars for art, 1 star for the cover. I'm just gonna go with we can just put all 6 covers in together. It's fine. Or the trade paperback, the deluxe edition with that blue cover and that goofy suit. I mean, the suit's goofy, but it's beautiful in its own way. Um, that cover is really sick. But we'll just do with the 6 main ones. I give it 1 star for the fuck it. I'm just gonna say 5 stars. We ain't gonna go to no long spiel. Everybody can just tell the way I'm talking about it. It's five
All
stars.
right. All right.
So
I'm gonna go 3.5 stars, and I'm trying to be respectful when I say this. I find your grading system very confusing. So assign the points. The one thing I will say about the covers is I don't think they're like especially good art. However, I think that they're perfect comic book covers. Like I think they're incredibly dramatic. I think they're pretty interesting composition. So like I don't think it's like I would never hang a poster of Nightwing 103, the Dead Man cover. Like I would never get a poster of that. Compared to like I'm looking just at the cover list here. Like Nightwing 64 is fucking gorgeous, where it's like it's Dick Grayson on like the N train, and it's like the N is listed on the front of the car, and then it's like spray painted Nightwing on it in like a very asymmetrical way. I'm like, that's fucking sick. Like that is a great poster. I would print that out and put that up in my office. But like these covers, I wouldn't do that. But like I think they are perfect storytelling devices. So I guess one there, 1.5 for the art, just because I love Scott McDaniel so much, and one for the story. So
that's perfect.
3.5 out of five.
Yep.
which
Yep.
is a totally sick story that everyone should read. Also, man, I read this shit in like maybe an hour, and I was like taking my time and playing with my dogs while I was reading it. So like it is super breezy. One thing I don't like about comic book conversations, people being like, "Is this worth a read?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Is this worth a read? Like, you don't have an hour to read a story?" I understand people are busy, they got lives, I get that. But man, you gotta stop treating your art so fucking preciously like that, man. Like, just go out and experience something and decide for yourself if you like it or not. I think people are getting a little too hoity-toity about
Ye-
their time.
Yeah, if you, I think I blew through this in like maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, right. It's not a
It's
long read. Yeah.
no, and it like again, I think it's just because it just flows. It just flows so easy and like everything. There's not a yeah, I mean, yeah, there's dialogue obviously, but like it's not like over dialogued. So like it reads fast.
Yeah.
So if you like a short read with good art and a good story, this is the book for you. If you want to read a fucking 32 book crossover event, go for it. I mean, we ain't gonna stop you. Whatever you
Yeah.
like to read, read the shit. I don't care.
Yeah,
As
but
long as it's
read
not Al Ewing. No Al Ewing coming from
read
me. You'll
yeah, but
never get that.
read this because this shit is good. It's entertaining. I liked it.
Yeah, this book, yeah, we stamp approval. Read this motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. All right. That was fun. So, all right. Well, thank you, George, for being on the show.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. If you're listening to this podcast, that means very recently I published an episode about another book that I think people might have overlooked. I had my buddy Carlos on, and we talked about Spider-Man and Human Torch, a five-issue miniseries from Marvel from 2005, 2006. I can't remember the exact date of it, but it is a five-issue series that basically is like an anthology almost about Spider-Man and the Human Torch's friendship through various time periods at Marvel's. Like one is like very obvious from Silver Age 60s, and it goes all the way up to like Peter working as a teacher at a middle school, which was his job when this book was coming out, like with the J. Michael Straczynski written Spider-Man run. So if you hear this, that episode will be out. So please give it a listen if you want another underappreciated, underread book on your radar.
I might have to read that now. That sounds pretty good.
It's
That
fun.
was a really good listen. I need to take some pointers from you on how to that was really well written right there. That
Thank you,
was
man. It was
perfect.
written by one glass of wine and me being very tired. So thank you.
All right. Sleep deprivation and booze. Got it.
The secret to most things. Yeah.
All right. Again, thank you for being on here. Thanks for everybody listening. And I hope you guys have a great day. And peace out, Cub Scouts.